The governor has proposed a 2% increase in spending. So we heard that we were going to get a big cut, but it's actually a 2% increase in spending over the last fiscal year. So again, these are the points that we want to set the stage as we take up these very important issues this week. That when you hear the point that we've cut to the bone, I don't think they're true. We all know that we received lots of ARRA money in that time period. And we believe that the federal government's intent of that money was to fill the hole here that we see when you look at revenue projections. But what we did in Montpelier was go and exceed that. We actually created spending over and above the federal dollars. So instead of coming in for a soft landing, as you might say this year, when we're starting to see the revenue projections catch up to our spending, we're still going to have a crash landing, and we're still going to have a $35+ million deficit going forward next year. The problem is we're out of ARRA money, and the money was designed to keep us from hurting these people, the most vulnerable people. So it was built to stabilize our spending, so we can make it sustainable going forward. We chose to spend way above that. We've created programs over the last few years. So if you create new programs,
Like what?
there's one, for example, a new drug alcohol program in Chittenden County that was created. It was a tune of $1 million. Strictly looking at the facts and the figures of how much money is spent, where it's spent. And one of the areas that's grown the most in this period is human services. We are looking at about $100 million more in human services money, general fund money, now than we were in 2008.
Do you think that these are painful cuts, but they're necessary? Or do you think that these are just not?
I think they're spending choices, Peter. I'm not going to say they're cuts. I think that we've got to prioritize where we're going to spend the money, and that's what we need to do going forward. The reason I bring this out today, I want to arm the press with this information so you can ask the question. But we can't lose sight that this problem was exasperated by a budget veto override that included $100+ million 2 years ago. Without that override, we'd have probably been back in the black by this year. So we can't lose sight of what's happened historically when we go forward. Yeah, but
I think that we're going to try to help Governor Shumlin keep his promises to taxpayers when he said that he would not raise taxes. And so when it comes to an issue like that, I think that Republicans are going to try to help him keep that promise.